Hello, it's me, Zoti, and welcome back to another episode of The Light Collective. Come on in here, get comfortable. Let's get started. The Light Collective, the Light Collective, the Light. And welcome back. How good it is to see you all again. You know, I made a video previously talking about a few points, subject matters that I think is imperative for the people of the light to hear during these times. None of it really new per se, but relevant for sure. One of the things that I discussed in my previous video was the building structures in certain areas in the country, in the world, really. Rome, DC, things of that nature, right? Your Senate houses, things like that. The structures of these buildings are not by accident, okay? In the previous video, I talked about how the symbolism of the Senate houses, Senate buildings, some theorize, as stated in my previous video, that the dome structure that the Senate houses, usually the Senate houses are shaped like, are a representative of the womb of Isis. And the obelisk structure is symbolic of the private region of Osiris. From the story of Isis and Osiris, if you take these things literally, okay. Um, I wanted to talk about the how the structures of the buildings actually also correlate to the UFOs and the drones, okay, that are all over the place, okay. And this whole all of a sudden the government wants to talk about how there's there's such thing as UFOs, there's a such thing as these, things like this, when people have been discussing these things for a very long time, and they call people crazy, you know or strange, when they talked about anything outside of what they're saying, what these people are saying, anything outside of what they're saying, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're, trying to a troublemaker, and you can't be trusted because who are you anyway, right? See how they've minimized, you know, the people in so many different ways, including your ability to think for yourself. Okay, took it from most people. You know, this is the type of weird stuff that these people do. Okay, but the correlation with the building structures, are also connected to the UFOs, this whole UFO thing, you know. Okay, now I personally know, I know that there are things going on, you know, above and below, you know. Yeah. So that's a different conversation, but I'll kind of get into some of that type of stuff. Not my personal testimony or journey yet, but, just um, the idea of mysticism and, abilities and things of that nature. Okay. Um, but the dome, right, could also be looked at like a winged disc or a horned disc, okay, which is like a flying saucer, like what you would think of like a UFO, like the Hollywood imagery of what a, a UFO would look you know, like that. So from the top view of it, right? If it's coming down towards you, you know, right? Looking up, that angle of it, okay, is basically what it would look like when you go into these buildings with those structures, with that dome. it looks like that from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like it's coming down like that. So it's the way that they drew it was the ant's eye view, because bird's eye view, and then there's ant's eye view, right? That's what I call it. So the ant's eye view, you know, would be that of what a UFO like look like that disc, and then the circle in the middle, which the circle in the middle is the all-seeing eye. Okay. Okay. And so I wanted to say that, these individuals, and then let me say too, the dome structure, and then there's like pillars that come off the side. That's the idea of it landing or taking off. Okay. So they're liars, is what I'm saying, because they know all of this. Okay. They're setting all of this up. Okay. They're setting all of this up. And all of these symbolisms that they put right in front of our face is like really like, so it's so rude at this point. I mean, it's other things that I'm not going to say on this platform. Okay. But it's just, it just goes to show you that they are just the lowest of the low. These people, you know? So when it comes down to the UFO and the drone situation, don't believe. I feel like most people aren't believing what they don't believe nothing that they say about the situation. Nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. And whatever they say, it's the opposite. Okay? Or some sort of perverted, weird, dark, demonic, filthy version of something is what it is. Okay? Because when I tell you they got their hand, they went, and put their hands into every sacred bucket that they could. Every sacred bucket. People have their beliefs and this, that, and the third. I have a knowing from my personal experience for what I know and what I stand on. You know, that's that, but no matter what your belief system is, your religion is, as a human being, you know, just as a person with a soul, a being, okay? They took their hands and put their filthy hands in every single sacred bucket they could find, every single one of them. And just, their hands are all greasy and old and wrinkly and just weird. I bet their skin don't even feel the same. Let me just, but listen, you know, they do all of this in all the different variations of sacred um, information, knowledge, ceremonies, all sorts of stuff, you know. And it's just a shame, really. It's a shame. They are shame. Okay, our vibration's higher than much, 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 much higher than shame. But these people, they're very nefarious in nature. Okay, and I just wanted to make this video about the UFO and the drone situation because the symbolism is there. Okay, the symbolism is there, and they're doing all of this type of stuff, because they're they are just, like I said, just dark individuals, and they get off on putting things right in front of your face, and acting like, oh, what are these things in the sky, people? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. We have no clue. No clue. Meanwhile, they do. Meanwhile, they absolutely do. I am love and I choose love ultimately, but I want the people of the light to think about something you love. And when you do, think about something morally and ethically horrific happening to or surrounding something that or something or someone, God, heaven forbid, that or heaven forbid, I'll say, we have heaven all around us, but, you know, there's, something comes in and tries to destroy and was successful in destroying a large part of what you love. How would you feel? What would you do? Just in case anybody doesn't like my tone sometimes. Okay. Because there is a such thing as righteous indignation. Okay. There is a such thing as righteous indignation when something is just so blatantly wrong and unethical, okay, and immoral and dark and selfish and greedy, and just you have to be able to say something, okay, and however you say what you say because of that situation or event or whatever's going on, then it's how you said it, just so, like, I don't want the people of the light and the people who are truly uh aware of what they're here to do and what's going on. you know Ultimately, love wins. Ultimately, we're supposed to be about love. I am love, and I choose love at the end of the day. But again, a part of love is correction and a halting of things and systems and scenarios that are destroying that in which I love. Okay? Intentionally doing so. Intentionally doing so. And I want the people of the light to know it's okay to have a little bit of righteous indignation when it comes down to, what's going on, in this projected reality, what these people are doing. The notion that, we're supposed to step back and just love each other when these people who are destroying everything, when they are literally, they're literally in every single way that they can, down to the food, down to the water, every way that they can, down to the air quality. Okay. Every way they can. They're trying to lower our frequency. Okay. They're trying to keep us completely confused and lost and not being able to see what's what. Okay. This is just what they do in every state. They're doing it in every single area. Okay. So I want to be clear that a part of me being love is me being able to express when something is wrong occurring to that which I love. And I love the people of the light. Okay. So, you know, to be clear, the UFO situation or UAPs or whatever it is that they're calling these people. I mean, they're calling these or calling whatever they're calling it. Definitely stuff going on up there, for sure. There definitely is going. Yeah, there is. It is. They're not telling you though what it actually is, and I'm going to make another video about some things. I actually just had a drone, two drones right outside my window. I have video of it, and I was recording. And luckily, I live by an airport. Okay, and luckily, and there was a plane when I'm recording. There was a plane coming by, you know, and the plane was coming by, so it was able in the video. You're able to see clearly what a plane is, versus what this thing was that was just sitting right outside sitting, you know, in my view. And it's just sitting there, and then the plane goes by, and then there was a star. So I got the video of the star, the plane, and whatever this thing is, you know? So, yeah. But they're not, so no big deal, right? Nothing to see here, huh? Nothing to see here, huh? Yeah, I think not. I think not. I think not. You know, I think not. Um, so yeah, there's a major shift in circumstance happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is a significant, however you want to slice it. You want to slice it religiously. You want to slice it, any way you want to slice it, it's significant point in time right now. Shout out to the Israelites, okay, the ones that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. I want to just say shout out to them really quickly, because the basis on which they stand, this is righteous indignation. This is what they, and I want to use them as an example because, like I said in my last video, you have to be able to be neutral, and I'm very neutral. Okay, I go down. I'm willing to listen to anybody's perspective, and like I said, I'm not going to discount. I'm not going to discount, you know, anything because of whatever. Okay, but in terms of righteous indignation, okay, people don't necessarily like the Hebrew Israelites, because they don't like their tone. They don't like their tone, and they don't like how firm they are and what they standing on. They don't like that they um, call Caucasian people Edomites. You know, they don't like that they say Caucasian people will be judged. You know, they don't like that. I'm talking about when I say Israelites, y'all know I'm talking about melanated people, right? Okay. And so they don't like that, Caucasian people, I mean, people don't like it because they say that, Caucasian people will, face the same treatment that they have done to the whole world, you know. Um, Now, before you call me racist, if that went across your head at all, you can leave, okay? Because again, I don't have time for the nonsense. Just saying, I'm just putting that out there, okay? People sensitive, but it's at the end of the day, it is what it is. And if you're gonna go biblical, right? If you're gonna, that's what I'm saying about religion, okay? You can't be in the Bible and say, okay, the Bible is true and these stories are true regarding the characters of the Bible. Okay, so Yahshua, Yehoshua, Yahushua. There's so many different people say the names differently. Okay, Yahushua, Yehoshua, Yahshua, Yahweh, um, is how they would say, Elohim. These are different ways that Hebrew, we would say the name Jesus in Hebrew, okay? Things of that, in those enunciations or pronunciations. And so, you know, if you're going to talk about the Bible, and say, okay, yeah, the Bible's accurate. Because, like, there was a whole thing about, who was it? I think it was, I got Billy Carson and a Caucasian man. I don't know what his name is. But, the Caucasian man, seemed to know the Bible pretty well, because he went to college for theology, I believe. But, whatever, but, it's like, okay, you claim to know the Bible, right? And like this Caucasian man, right? And the character that is the individual spoken about in the Bible, the Messiah in the Bible, okay, Jesus, Yahshua, okay, Yahushua, okay. I'm giggling at myself because I be really trying my best with the pronunciations, okay. But you can't leave that part out then, the part that talks about the 12 tribes. And you can't say that you believe in the Bible and you think the Bible is 100%, okay, this is it. This is the truth right here in this book, right? About this particular individual, right? And everything that's said in here will come to pass. And then you leave out the whole story, the whole part about the 12 tribes of Israel and how they were spread out, like as if that doesn't sound like a particular group of people, and then talking about how Jerusalem was, invaded, and, of course, people, we know that the people who are in Jerusalem right now, okay, they were not, the Palestinians were there first, if we don't all know that by now. Okay, like I learned this years and years ago. Okay, but I think more and more people are seeing how the Palestinian people are being treated and how ridiculous it is, how absolutely utterly ridiculous it is to insinuate that these people are the real anything, are real Jews. The people who are in Jerusalem right now, they got there because they got there in the 1940s after the Holocaust situation. That's when they got there. That's when they got there. Okay. That's when they got there. Now, when now I say something like that, or people say anything about that, and you're anti-Semitic, which makes absolutely no sense. When the people who are there are anti-Semitic. The people who are there are anti-Semitic because they came there. Okay, they came there. They invaded that land that was already occupied. Okay, because that was the land that was supposed to be in the Bible, the Holy Land. So why did they pick that place to go drop these people off? Why didn't they pick some other place? Why did they drop these people off in what the Bible references as the holy place, the Holy Land? That seems a little intentional and wrong, right? And now, anytime anyone says anything about the people over there, you're anti-Semitic. That's ridiculous, and that's not going to fly. Those type of things can't fly with the people of the lights, because as a light holder and a light bearer, you have to be about the truth regardless. You have to be about the truth regardless, and justice. Okay, and justice. Okay, and certain things just aren't just. Okay, they just aren't just, and there's no room for it where we're going. There's no room for it anymore where this planet is going, where we're going. Okay, there's no room for the unjust. End of it. That's just the end of the story. And so situations like this, are not in line with the proper, frequencies that we need to be at. Okay, these sorts of scenarios where people are coming and invading lands, okay, and then calling themselves something that they're giving you this book, saying this is the holy book, and then they just so happen to drop people who are Caucasian in the this is the truth now, in the area that's supposed to be the Holy Land, when they weren't there in the first place. There were people probably my complexion there, really, and darker, because just simply because of the sun situation, close to the equator and whatnot. So just saying, that's the only reason why I'm saying they're probably a brown skin color or darker. You know, that's just again the logic. Follow the logic. Okay. So for the Hebrew Israelites to have the perspective that they have, okay, by using the Bible, okay, and then I don't know, they seem pretty, I mean, it's a righteous indignation, and then that whole viewpoint, when it comes down to there being a judgment, right? If we're talking about it in the sense of biblically, if there being a judgment, right? It's like people always say, you shouldn't judge someone. No, that's not what it is. It's saying that don't judge someone and you're doing the same exact thing that you're telling them not to do. So I can't be sitting here smoking a cigarette, puffing like, hey, YouTube, look, don't smoke cigarettes, okay, man? It's just, you'd be a fool to smoke cigarettes. Then I can't judge you for smoking cigarettes if I'm smoking cigarettes, right? That's what that means. Of course, we have to judge. Of course, there has to be judgment, because you see, when there's no judgment, this is what we end up with. Yeah, but it's with righteous judgment. That's why I always say in my videos, you can go back and check the tapes. I always say, may righteous judgment fall upon the heads of all the people who are responsible for the atrocious crimes against humanity. Period. That is definitely what I call for. 100%. 100%. And so it is. So help me source. You know, um, but it's a lot of things, that has occurred in the last 2,000 years that have to be rectified, that have to be rebalanced. This can't go on. This can't go on because it's just not, it simply cannot go on. It can't go on. There's too much destruction occurring. Okay. And the destruction is occurring to particular groups, you know, and it's been occurring for too long. Okay. Like I said in the previous video, the disregard for the earth, just disregard, just complete disregard for the earth needs to stop. There's certain things just need to stop. The level of greed needs to stop. All of these things need to stop. They've built cities over the graves of indigenous people. The first thing they say about melanated people is that they all came on slave ships, or there were people here. There were people here who were people here who were melanated individuals. So no, no, a lot of the melanated people here could very well be indigenous of an indigenous lineage. Okay, could very well be an original. You know what I mean? In terms of who were already on these lands right here. Like I said, there's cities built, okay, over the graves of indigenous people. Okay, that's what these people have done. This is what this is what they've done. Okay, I don't care what the excuses are. To slaughter people, there is no excuse. And then to build cities over their graves, and you think that there's not going to be any rectification for these acts. Of course there is. Again, this right here is not it. Not it. Spiritually, there's a spiritual aspect. There's higher realms and higher dimensions. Okay? Higher beings. Simple as that. Simple as that. And once you get connected to the divine, then you'll be able to see certain things and you'll know for sure that that's the case. A lot of people, this is not your first time here. No, it's not my first time here. Okay? For a fact. There's nothing anyone could. So it's just not, my perspectives are my perspectives. But one perspective that I'm firm on is I am not with the injustice. I'm not with the injustices that's occurring. And yeah, these blatant crimes against humanity is sick. It again needs to be dealt with. And like I said, the times that we're coming into is a time of karma. Okay. It's a time of heavy, heavy karma. So I encourage all the people to clear your karma. And I mean deeply clear your karma, because if you don't, then, people can call this what they want to call it, but any way you want to slice it, you want to say that what the whole prophecy is in the Bible is occurring right now, like verbatim. People better get ready. If you want to say that it's a situation of, a new world order, people better get ready. If you want to say that it's a situation of alien invasion or other beings from different realms and dimensions, whatever it is, y'all, people want to say, no matter how it goes, we are going up from here. Okay, we are going up from here. Okay, which is the good news. Okay, which is the good news. Okay, we are elevating from here. There's no more time for the darkness. Is time for the light. Okay, the light needs to come. The light is here. The light, this is time. It's time. Okay, it's time. And so everything that doesn't serve a purpose, okay, as we go into the next dimension, because there's no room. There's not going to be any room for any of this type of filth anymore. Okay, so whatever doesn't serve a purpose to humanity and to the good nature of what the Most High intended in the first place has to go. So, of course, it's great news that these things are happening, because it shows that, it confirms a lot of things for me. Again, my perspective is my perspective. I'll, again, maybe I'm going to tell my testimony one day, but it's going to be, not right now. But, either way you slice it, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention, because I'm telling you, the stuff that's going on right now, no matter how you want to slice it, one thing you should be sure of is that there is one thing I am sure of, I'll speak for myself, is that, and I've always believed that there's a higher power, creators, source. And yes, there absolutely is. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. And spirituality, spiritual warfare, is an actual thing. It's a very real thing, and it's happening right before us. Okay. And yeah. So when it comes down to these UFO things and things in the sky, look up. Look up. Take a look at the sky from time to time, and you'll see a lot of things that are quite interesting. Very, very interesting. But that's it. That's all I wanted, just to come and say a quick word on this day. And I hope something was interesting or useful to you. But until I see you again, take care. Be safe. Ashe. The Light Collective. The Light, the Light, the Light.